Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Ahim the Dream.
With your co-host J Mac Main.
And it's your boy Big Papa Pump got your hookup.
Hey man, it's your boy Travis. You can call me Trado.
All right, guys. So we have a special show for you guys today as we discuss wrestling. We'll touch here and there on NXT and Friday Night SmackDown, but first and foremost, we're going to start off with this conversation that we got going on between Trey and Big Papa Pump, Ant-Man, right? So these guys been heating it up in the chat real quick in the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts chat. They've been kind of going back and forth, and they got little things they want to talk to each other about wrestling, discussing some wrestling facts and issues. So we're going to let these guys have the floor so that they can do their thing and discuss some wrestling topics and stuff like that. If you guys are joining us, please drop a comment in the comment section below. Follow along with us as we continue on in the show. We want to know your thoughts concerning these topics that these guys talk about. We want to know your opinions. We will post your comments down below. Sean Keys is joining us. What's up, Sean? If you guys are joining us, we will chime in also to read your comments out so that they can respond to your comments concerning these topics or concerning the discussion that they're having. So, Ant, take us away. Ethan Wick is in the house. Guys, time to roll.
What's going on? Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend. First of all, I want to say congratulations on Bobby Lashley and all that, but a lot of people going to hate me, and a lot of people you got to think about what I'm saying. If Brock Lesnar comes back and beats Lashley for the title, it's what's best for business. You want to know why? Because everybody, y'all so-called hate Brock so much, they want to tune in every pay-per-view, every chance he defends the title just to see him lose. And right now, WWE's at its worst rating had in years. And what's best for business? Bring Brock back and put him over Lashley. Brock's the best thing to happen to WWE in a long time, bro. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Y'all can say all the Brock. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Brock hate. He's beating all your favorite wrestlers, from The Rock to Goldberg.
Wow.
All your favorite.
Trav said he got the tissue for you. Sean Keith says, Lord Jesus, he's starting with the bull.
Yes, I'm on my word. Brock is what's best for business right now. We need Brock. Y'all hate him so much, y'all gonna tune in to see him.
Trav, you got anything to say about this?
Oh my God, where do I start? All right, so let me ask you a question. I got 3 questions for you. 3 questions. I want to show my face, so I'm gonna come out a little from this working time so y'all can see me for a second. I just don't want to show all that extra. So you said Brock is the best thing for business
Right now, at this moment. What's the best?
Hey man, what you got in your cup, man? That ain't the question I got for you, but what you got in your cup? That's what I want to know. So my first question. The other day in the chat, I think somebody posted The Miz and how great of a promo he could cut, right?
Yeah.
When the last time has Brock cut his own promo? No Paul Heyman.
When he turned face against Angle.
And that was how long ago?
It doesn't matter. He's so good.
No. How long ago?
Oh.
So, okay. You gave me the answer.
When the last time Kane cut a promo?
We're not on Kane. We on Brock Lesnar right now. Kane is not a part of this conversation. Don't bring Kane in this. Okay. I got my second question. Right. You gave me an answer. When the last time outside of SmackDown 20th anniversary has Brock put on a show for SmackDown or Raw?
He don't need to.
That's the problem. That is the problem, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because you're saying he don't need to. Here's the problem.
Win the title every week.
Wait, here's the problem. You want him to come in here like he usually do, the week before or two, and probably give you that little smirk smile and probably F5 the person or play with his brain or whatever not. Man, we tired of that. We seen that over the last 5 years. You know the last time this man had put on a show on Raw or SmackDown? Watch this. It was March 4th. I can't give you the exact year though.
You talking about the night he tore the ring up?
No. March 4th when he F5'd. You ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, we ready.
Hardcore Holly.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly.
You got the tissue ready.
And come on, bro. Talk to me. Come on.
I bet you that was one of the highest segments too.
Come on, bro. Hardcore Holly.
You
know how long?
All right, wait, hold on one moment. Let me just the comment section real quick because we got like 3 comments real quick. Ethan Wick says, "Hell no, I ain't turning in just to watch Lashley lose." Sean Key says, "Ant, we going on one-on-one next." Laugh out loud. Billiam Shredder, thank you for joining us. Billiam, he said, "I think Lashley and Lesnar would be dope, but Lashley better hold. But I'm over Lesnar for a while." Also, Ethan Wick says, "That long?" That long ago since Brock Lesnar cut his old promo.
Vote, Billiam.
So my thing is this, bro. I can't get it. Why do you want to see the same thing we've been seeing for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? Brock Lesnar, listen for a second. Brock Lesnar is on a contract where he only has to wrestle on pay-per-views.
That's good. So
no, that's bad because here's the thing. You got guys, wait. You got guys out there every single night, Monday nights and Friday nights. Guys that are putting in the work, guys that are pushing, thriving to be great. And this man won't let them. Why? Can't blame Vince.
It's not just him.
All right, go ahead, Ed.
Listen, it might not be the thing we've been seeing for the last 5 years. They both been calling each other out for the last 5 years. This might be the feud that might have Brock there every week. You don't know what. Dude, mouthpiece and Paul as his. You don't know that could be an every week thing. You don't know, something might change with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against. Listen, I'm a big Brock fan. If it's not Dolph Ziggler, it's about Brock. I want to see Brock over Lashley. I don't care what nobody says. I can take all the hate. It's gonna happen.
Wait. Hold on a second. I got a question. Ant, you said you would rather see Brock over Lashley?
Yes.
Oh man. Okay, cool. I just want to ask you a question.
Listen, I was glad to see him win after 17 years. Hooray! But it's time to let the beast out the cave. They both been calling each other out for the last 5 years, maybe longer than that. Mostly Lashley. Brock's been ignoring him, brushing him off like, all right, Trump changed, prove something to me. Now it's time for him to step up.
Listen, man, listen. Keep that man in the cage. He been out enough. It's over with. Brock is done. Here's my problem with you, bro. You want him to come back and you want him to fight Bobby Lashley. Why? So we can see the 5 or 6 minute, my boy. You want to see the 5 or 6 minute fight that we usually see? Let's run it down. Let's run the fight down that you want to see. You want to see Bobby Lashley come out, right? You want to see Bobby Lashley and Brock come out. Brock gonna get the upper hand. They're gonna go fist for fist for a minute. Then you're gonna see Suplex City. Then you're gonna see Bobby Lashley get mad and do a couple of his little moves. And then he gonna try to put him in the hurt lock and it ain't gonna work. Then he gonna spear him a couple times. Then Brock gonna F5 him a couple times. And then we gonna see Brock win the title. Why do we want to see that? We seen the same thing with Roman. We seen the same thing with Goldberg, Undertaker. I'm tired of seeing that. Don't put that on TV. That is not good exposure. Understand, ratings are down right now, but you got young, talented guys that can take that place. You got people like Retribution that you can really use in single competitors to push. You got those two guys. You got Cesaro. You got KO. You got heck, I wouldn't mind seeing Randy be back in the competition. You got the Fiend that's been sitting back doing nothing for months.
That's why.
But you want to bring in Brock, somebody that's only gonna wrestle every pay-per-view, that ain't gonna give you no time on TV, ain't gonna cut you no promos, ain't gonna put on no show for no fans, ain't gonna do no title defenses until the pay-per-view, ain't gonna do no open challenges. He not gonna do nothing but sit back at home, drink his beer, kick his feet up, watch UFC so he can learn some new moves from UFC to bring to the WWE.
All right.
Why?
Real quick, before you answer, Ant, Sean Schaefer says, "What's up, Sean?" Also, Ethan Wick says, "All that no showing makes all those statistics about championships irrelevant." Great point, Ethan Wick. He says, "The only way I would want to see Brock versus Lashley is if it took a year." Interesting.
Ethan, that is a great one. I like that one. That's great. I like that.
But Ant, what you got to say? Okay, because let me just chime in real quick. I just want to chime in. I definitely want to hear what you have to say about this, Jay. So Ant, you cool? So Ant pretty much is definitely he's definitely with Brock Lesnar. He's definitely with Brock Lesnar. I think this is very interesting. The fact that you would want Lashley to lose even after him having that 17-year, kind of like climb to actually win the championship, but to have Brock Lesnar come back and take the title off of Lashley when we have not experienced a title reign with Bobby Lashley fighting mostly heavyweights and main eventing pay-per-views. Like, I would like to see how that would go. And just real quick before I, hand it to you, Ant, real quick. I want to hear what Jay have to say before I hand it to you, Ant. Is like when he had his match against Roman Reigns, I thought it was dope. When he came back and he really had like a serious match against Roman Reigns, I thought it was pretty good. Bobby Lashley. When he had his match against Drew McIntyre, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it personally. Jay, you got anything to say?
Yeah. All right. So first off, to answer Ethan's comment first. So Ethan, you said you would want to see them build a year, which I agree. Now, would you want that build to be like Cena and Rock? They meet and like next year WrestleMania is gonna be me and you, or would you like to see like during like certain pay-per-views throughout the year, Brock comes out and attack Bobby, or they'll do little things to kind of see the feud? Like, which part would you want to see it go? But I agree with that building. Now,
can I answer that question for you, Jay? Real quick, I would like for Brock to actually wrestle for more than one time on a Raw or SmackDown event, for more than one time in 20 years. That's what I would like to see if we're gonna do that. You see what I'm saying? He got to put on it. We need at least 25 matches before I see Brock coming back in to take that title. But go ahead.
All right. So now, Trey, the only reason I don't see that happening is because one, WWE spoiled Brock, and I'm gonna give you my reason for that. So let's say your job, right? Let's say your job say, "Yo, Trey, we'll offer you $100,000 a year, but you only got to come to work 3 times a year, and you stay for 3 hours, right?" You're gonna be like, "I bet it's perfect job." You're not gonna go to them and be like, "You know what? I think I'm kind of taking out y'all money. I feel like I'm using y'all. So you know what? I can come there. I come in, six times. Maybe let me come in once a month." They're gonna be like, "Oh, perfect." But you know what I'm saying? But they offered you something extremely nice, extremely lax. So of course you're gonna take that. You're not gonna try to do more. Why would you want to do more?
Of course.
But as far as this Brock versus Lashley, now I see where Ed's going. Where people, I can see where his brain's going, and where people's gonna want to tune in like, "Yo, I want Brock to lose" and stuff like that. I get it, but as of right now, you can't just automatically. Now, if Brock comes back and take the belt from Roman, when Heyman turns on Roman, that would be a bigger storyline for people to want to watch out rather than seeing Brock take it from Lashley, because it's like, all right, here we go again. And then it's like, there will be no champion and nothing for fans to view on as far as Raw, because SmackDown already has the top storylines. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, as we said in a couple shows ago, the Randy and the Fiend I wouldn't even consider that a Raw storyline. That's its own federation within itself. So like I said, as far as I see where you're going, and you know what I'm saying, and fans will tune in just to be like, yo, I can't wait for him to lose as the hated champion. But I think you don't have Bobby. You don't have him take it for Bobby. I think if you're going to go that route, you'd rather have him take it for Roman over than Bobby.
All right, real quick, because Ant needs to respond because Ant's been quiet for a minute. I just want to drop this real quick. Sean Schaefer says Brock and Goldberg need to go sit down and just watch UFC together and just leave WWE alone. I'm just going to say this one thing real quick because Ant needs to respond. Ant's been very quiet. He's been brewing. He's been sitting there. He's been thinking. He's got some things to say. Ant, I see you. All right. So this is my thing real quick. So, like, a few years ago, we didn't have a problem with part-timers or just legends coming back to wrestle. We didn't have an issue with that. But I think our main issue was how poorly Brock Lesnar's title reign and his wrestling appearance was. Like the fact that he was just showing up only on pay-per-views. Yes, he did have some great matches during his duration of that reign. Like there were some great matches, like the Fatal 4-Way between him, Braun, Samoa Joe, and I believe it was Roman Reigns. The triple threat match between him, John Cena, Seth Rollins, him versus Finn, him versus AJ, him versus Daniel. Like he's had some great matches in between. I can't even lie. Some Brock matches I definitely would watch again. But Ant, you're definitely going to have to chime in on this one and just kind of put in perspective, give more of show us your perspective as to why is it that you think it'll be beneficial for Brock Lesnar to come back, take the title off of Bobby Lashley, who's gotten the title, who's been wrestling for 17 years, and finally got the WWE title, to have now Brock Lesnar come back, have part-time appearances, hold the title, versus Bobby Lashley being a full-time wrestler who we can see every Monday night holding that title and defending it, possibly on Raw and pay-per-views.
You just broke down your question with the answer right there. That would be the perfect storyline, exactly what you just said right there. 17 years, all this time he put in all this pain, all this work, and then this part-timer just takes his belt. That's a major story mode right there, because everybody been saying that about Brock for the long, but nobody been saying that off of social media. All the wrestlers talk about him on social, but nobody say about it in the ring. Maybe Daniel Bryan sometimes, but besides that, nobody's really mentioned that. You can imagine that storyline. That's like bringing reality back into the sports entertainment world. You understand? I'm not saying throw Brock in there at WrestleMania and boom, beat Lashley. No, I'm talking about you could build this to SummerSlam, because they put WrestleMania already booked already. I'm saying SummerSlam. You might have some fans back in the building again. I'm in Brooklyn a lot. Barclays and people back in the building again. SummerSlam, Brock Lashley for the main event. Come on.
Okay, real quick, real quick. So I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. So you're saying Brock comes back. Storyline could be built like Brock comes back, part-timer, beats Lashley, who waited 17 years to get this world title. Brock holds it, and now we build, and now they're trying to build Lashley to be that person who comes and takes it off him at SummerSlam to kind of like catapult his title reign after that. I see what you're saying. You got a point. I can't even lie with you. Like I can't even lie, man. Like I can see it. Like, because even though it would kind of suck, I don't think I would stretch it out that long to SummerSlam. But I see what you're saying, because it would definitely put a lot of expectations on Bobby if they would really build the feud in that capacity. Like if they keep it on.
Let Lashley hold the belt until SummerSlam. Make him look blah, 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 like he's been looking, and then just have Brock come part-timer, boom. Maybe a little interference from Paul Heyman, maybe something like that. You know what I'm saying? A little outside interference, but bring reality back to sports entertainment. That's what we're missing right now. It's not really good story modes outside of Randy and Bray and whoever Roman's beefing with. besides that, Roman's starting to turn into Brock, and y'all love Roman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Roman's the
The
modern
dream.
day. Comes out every week. Paul Heyman speaks for him. Head of the table. Also, he's the modern day Brock, bro.
Okay. Let me get this. So I want to start off by saying, Kareem, you said you can't lie. Well, you lied to yourself, bro. You know that is not what nobody wants to see. Now, the reason why people are loving Roman Reigns right now and his so-called Roman / Brock Lesnar series is because for years we've seen Roman come out, say the same thing, do the same thing, and he was getting that John Cena type vibe for a while. People was hating him. The WWE wants to make him face, but the difference between him and John Cena is they never turned Cena heel to make him face. John Cena has always been face, other than when he first got in WWE, then nobody know who this rapping, no offense to nobody, rapping white boy with the jersey and the chain on. Now, Brock, I can't sit here and tell you I want to see Brock at SummerSlam. No, because here's my whole thing about the Brock situation. Brock has had 8 years to reconstruct his contract, and this is going back to Jay, what Jay said. Brock has had 8 years to, because he signed his contract in 2013. He's had 8 years to reconstruct his contract to probably wrestle one show a month. I'm not asking a lot. One show a month, and I get you, Jay, because you're right. If my people told me I only had to come to work 3 times out of a month, yeah, I'm gonna take it. But in this certain business, WWE, people want to see what you're gonna bring to the table night in and night out. People don't want to see what you can bring to the table at pay-per-view, because at the pay-per-view, you got to bring your best. When you come into that Raw show and you make a mistake, that's fine. But when you get to that pay-per-view, we want to see you exceed expectations. The problem I have is you can't continue to, Vince McMahon and his yes men, as I call it, they can't continue to use Brock, The Rock, John Cena, and all of these old characters as scapegoats, because that's what they do, because they're scared to push and build new talent. Now, Jay said, and I see you got some comments, Jay said that they put out that Keith Lee is actually hurt. I think that's complete bull. I think they made that storyline up because if you guys remember, Vince McMahon sent Keith Lee back to the training facility one show, and then he came back to Raw, and then all of a sudden, when it's time for him to get in the bigger scheme of things, he all of a sudden come up with an injury.
All right. I'm at the comment section below. Sean Key says Brock winning the title, the title period is dumb. Sean Key says I hate Roman. Ethan Witt says he's the Brock Lesnar that shows up every week. And Sean Key says amen, Trav. So you know, this is the thing. It's very complex. I think, you know, the point that Ant brings up is very interesting, because I think Bobby holding the title until SummerSlam to now fight Brock and have him lose the title, I think it would only make sense if Brock Lesnar takes the title off Bobby so that Bobby can take the title off Brock. Yeah, that's the only thing that would make sense. And I agree, like that would definitely make for good TV, because it's a reality plug. It's a 4-4 break-in where Bobby can, can come up and says, can come on a mic with MVP and say, listen, he's, and say like, listen, Brock is only giving you special appearances, once or twice, maybe if once or twice a month. And he only shows up, toward the end of the month just to promote his match that's going to happen at the end of the month. But here's Bobby, who's been champion for, X amount of months, who's been defending his title night in, night out, defending his legacy as a WWE champion, a dominant WWE champion. And here's this guy, this part-timer, who just comes back and takes the title. you know what I'm saying, to a more deserving, dominating force. And it'll be interesting. I can't even lie. It'll be interesting to watch Bobby Lashley and MVP standing across from Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. It'd be crazy just to watch MVP and Paul Heyman go back and forth as Bobby and Brock stare each other down. It'll be bananas. Can't even lie. Y'all can't even tell me that don't even sound good. You can't tell me that.
It does not sound great at all. None whatsoever.
Oh man. Oh, come on,
because
come on, man.
No. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Listen. For one, you can't have two Brock Lesnar's at a time. If you pull Paul Heyman, wait, listen. If you pull Paul Heyman from Roman Reigns right now, it destroys his character. It destroys the notion that WWE is trying to push. Say again?
Manage both?
No, he cannot. He cannot.
Both.
No, he cannot. Because here's the thing. If you allow him to manage both, somebody's got to take the back seat. And given the fact that Brock is Vince McMahon go-to guy, Roman Reigns is going to take the back seat. And when Roman Reigns take the back seat, his character goes down the drain again. And he can't afford that now in his career. Everybody hated when he pulled out of the Goldberg match, but that was what was best for his family. So he can't take that hit again. You cannot continue to try to push these older guys and do this stuff that you used to do. It's time for a new age. Why not get Keith Lee in the picture? Why not get Cesaro in the picture? Why not get KO in the picture? We got all these talented young wrestlers on Raw, and we were just talking about SmackDown before we got on live. Man, Friday night, real talk, Jey Uso proved, he can be a competitor, a challenger in a heavyweight title fight. And we know Daniel Bryan can do it. But it's just simple fact, WWE continues to push older guys that have been there, done that, because they are afraid of change. Vince McMahon and his yes men are afraid to push young and upcoming talent. They don't push it. They not pushing nobody right now.
Whoa.
Every week after this, why is Retribution losing? Why?
Okay. Well, Trav, let me say this real quick. We have to give. I see, you have a valid point. Your point is completely valid. But we have to look at the fact that WWE does push younger talent. They just have not been pushing younger talent in the capacity that they should be pushing them now. The fact of the matter is that because Hogan and Macho Man took a back seat, and Ted DiBiase and Mr. Perfect and all those guys took a back seat, we got Brett, we got Shawn, we got Diesel, we got Yokozuna, we got those guys in the title, we got those guys in the picture. They've been actually, the reason why they were able to win the Monday Night Wars was because they actually made new stars. The reason why, you know what I'm saying, the reason why WCW failed was because they kept bringing over old stars and giving them the main push. And the only two new stars they really made, or the two major stars they really made, was Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, and Chris Benoit.
Jericho.
So can I? He said Jericho.
We can't even say Jericho. We can't even say Eddie Guerrero, because they weren't even considered for the heavyweight title picture. They got considered for the heavyweight title picture.
So let me ask you this.
But they were stars though. We can't deny the fact that they weren't stars. They were stars in WCW. That's why when they came over to WWE, everybody was so hyped, like, oh snap, Jericho.
Right.
Rey Mysterio too.
The Radicals, oh snap, Chris Benoit, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't have, so with the Radicals, obviously, if you think about it, our excitement for the Radicals came from Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. We wasn't, Dean Malenko, we was like, Perry Saturn, we definitely was like, okay, but our excitement was, we get to see Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero in WWE, bet, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know what I'm saying, so WCW did kind of push stars, but like you said, they didn't push them to they didn't push them through the heavyweight title picture, but that also goes back to the fact that in WCW, all the wrestlers had control. So you got a guy like Hogan who's established. You got a guy like Nash who's established. Hall. I mean, not necessarily Hall. Like Hogan, Nash, Goldberg. They're not gonna agree to be like, oh, all right, so I got to lose to Eddie Guerrero. Why? I'm not doing that. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So that's you know, sense. And it's like it was always a conflict where because even like from stories I've heard, Hogan really want to lose to the top stars like Booker T. He didn't really want to lose to guys like Booker T and Diamond Dallas Page unless it made sense, or if they weren't cool, then he wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why, because they had so much creative control over the character. Now I did want to touch on a couple points. Now, and you said that Roman is the modern day Brock. Now, as far as in-ring competition, yeah, because Daniel Bryan made a point last week on Talking Smack that Roman and Edge only fought a total of 3 matches this whole year. No matter we're in March, and they fought a total of 3 matches combined, which is insane. But as far as promos, Roman's a little because Roman still cuts his own promos. Because you see he'll cut off Paul and be like, give me the mic, or Paul and Heyman, and he'll kind of check Paul. Where Brock was just like, now Brock checked him, but it was more physical, and that's once in a while. But Roman checks him like every week, like, yo, what did I tell you to do? Or I didn't tell you to do it, or go get it done type. You know what I'm saying? Now my question is, I know we don't like part-timers, but is it the fact that it's because our hatred towards Brock, or we don't like part-timers at all? Because now, let's say if The Undertaker to WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam every year, would you be okay with him being world champion and defending the title at those 3 pay-per-views?
Can I answer that, please? I don't think it's so much of we hate part-timers. My thing is, I think it comes down to we've seen Brock more than enough. You had Undertaker as a part-timer. People loved it. Why? Because he wasn't in a championship battle every time he came back. They booked him with somebody good, and he put on a good show. Now, if Ant's argument was that we were going to bring Brock back and put out a feud and he fights somebody as a top competitor, of course I'm with it, because then I get to see him fight somebody other than the champion. But we're talking about bringing him back in again for the umpteenth time and putting him right as a champion. No, don't do that. Let's stop doing that, because you got guys that's there night in and night out that deserves that chance or that opportunity. It's like Edge. Edge is cool. I like Edge, don't get me wrong. But right now, I mean, let's be honest. If he beats Roman Reigns, really you're destroying Roman before his character really even exceed expectations. You can't continue to bring in part-timers and thinking, oh, well, part-timers are going to get the job done. No, if you're bringing Brock back in, let's put him up against Drew McIntyre with no title. Let's put him up against Randy Orton with no title. Let's put him on. Let's put him in some matches and build his character, and let's not see him every other blue moon when it's a title picture that they can't fulfill because they don't want to give somebody the opportunity. Dream, to your point, you said that they are pushing young talent. Well, I beg to differ, because Keith Lee made the biggest jump, I think, from NXT to the other than Finn Balor, to the biggest jump to get to the top of the key as fast as he did. But they threw him under the bus. No. Seth came in.
I would say Shayna Baszler, and the reason I say Shayna Baszler because look at the impact she came when she first.
I'm on the men's side. I wasn't looking at the women.
You got to mention Seth Rollins. You were talking about the biggest jump from NXT to the main roster.
But you got to think about Seth came in with the Shield, and then he sprouted out from the Shield. That's different. He came in with a group. He didn't come in. I'm talking about singles competitors. Seth came in with a group.
You can even look at Kevin Owens.
Right, Kevin Owens came in, and that was another one. Yeah, so Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, all those guys came in like that. But what I'm saying is they got talent right now that they are not given an opportunity to. Retribution should be running shop overall, just like the Hurt Business is. But they're not, because why? They don't want us. Vince don't like them no more. He gave them 2 months. And the crazy part, my partner Jay, his name Jay too. My partner Jay told me, he said, bro, he said the Retribution gonna be done in 2 months. I said, bro, no, they gonna push them boys a little bit longer. It's 2 months. Them boys ain't won a battle in about 3 weeks almost, and they ain't gonna win one, and they gonna end up breaking up.
Well, Ali actually won his match on Monday against.
But that's Ali though.
Against
Right.
Riddle.
But hey, it's part of retribution.
But I'm talking about
2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks. I think then they beat
they ain't beat nobody. They ain't beat nobody lately. They ain't beat nobody.
2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. Xavier Woods.
They beat who?
Xavier Woods. But okay, so all right. So before you answer, I have a question for y'all. So what is your definition of a part-timer, right?
Brock Lesnar.
Hold on. A part-timer is someone who wrestles part-time and just disappears, or would you consider Edge a part-timer because Edge doesn't wrestle as much, but he's on SmackDown every week promoting his match? And again, if he didn't get hurt after the greatest wrestling match ever, he probably would have been consistently on Raw. You know what I'm saying? From like still there every week. So would you consider Edge a part-timer? Even Roman. Roman doesn't fight that much, but he's on SmackDown every week, cutting promos and building feuds. So would you consider Roman and Edge part-timers?
Well, okay. So Roman is a part-time wrestler. Okay, that's okay. He wrestles part-time, but he's there night in and night out.
Okay.
Brock wrestles only at pay-per-views.
Right.
He's not coming to, as I stated, the last time he had a Raw or SmackDown event other than the 20th anniversary, which I don't count because that's an anniversary, and they got everybody to come back. The last time he fought Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hardcore Holly was in the WWE. That is a part-time wrestler. You don't come to no SmackDown, Raw, and you don't put on no match. You don't even do a qualifying match. When the last time has Brock did a qualifying match?
All right.
Not
all right,
never.
hold on. Wait, hold on. Because you actually touched on something real great. Can't even lie, Trav. Can't even lie. That was that was an excellent point. When's the last time Brock Lesnar had a qualifying match? But let me just hit the comment section real quick because they've been dropping some comments. The guy's been dropping some comments. Here we go. Ethan Wick says, I'd have Brock Lesnar beef every other week on Raw, maybe 2 matches on 2 pay-per-views before WrestleMania. Before was it?
I think it was
His own.
I think he meant WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. All right. No. Respectfully, Hogan and Macho Man didn't have to step back to make those people stars during that time. He's referring to what I said about Hogan and Macho Man leaving. Ethan Wick says Rey Mysterio. He mentions that Rey Mysterio is also a star in WCW. Sean Key says Hogan stunned a lot of wrestlers' growth also in WCW. If you want to be honest, Sean Key says I hate part-timers as champions. BM Schrader says I like early Brock. This Brock annoys the hell out of me. BM also says
too.
And he doesn't put the dominance presence like Undertaker or Stone Cold did. Sean Key says it's disrespectful to current stars. Sean Key says Brock, Undertaker, Cena, Rock, all part-timers. Ethan Wick says anybody who participates like Brock Lesnar. All right, let me just say this real quick. I just want to say this real quick, and then I'm gonna give it back to you guys. Okay, so when I mean by stars, I mean by these guys in WCW like Chris Benoit, Jericho, Eddie Guerrero. These guys were stars. These guys had star power, but they were not pushed to the forefront, to the heavyweight title pictures as they should have been until they got to WWE. So of course you're like a star, but then you become a superstar. You're a superstar, but you're really a superstar when you're in the main event title picture. They didn't get that push until they were in WWE. Let me just say this to WCW's credit. The people that they pushed or the new stars they made was Big Papa Pump, Booker T, Jeff Jarrett, what's his name? Diamond Dallas Page and Chris Benoit. Those are like 5 superstars that they made. They did make them. But before WCW actually went under, they actually had the whole New Blood story arc that was going on where they were actually trying to push new talent to WCW's credit. So that was actually happening. But I see what you're saying, Travis, in the sense that WWE has the opportunity right now to take all the new talent and push them in the forefront and stop bringing back these part-timers and giving them these main event slots that they feel like they should have. Let me just say this last thing, right? The last thing is this, is that we do notice though, and we have to acknowledge this, is that a lot of the new talent do need a older talent rub to put them, in the forefront. Because if we just have some new star just popping up, randomly all the time, like, we had Brock who popped up, became world champion. We had Finn Balor who popped up, became world champion. We had AJ who popped up, became world champion. And even though we did know those guys, we did know Balor and AJ prior to them coming to WWE. We didn't really know Brock Lesnar, but we were engaged by his presence. So, again, we do have to have some kind of, older guy rub. Last comment, Sean said, I'm sorry, last comment. Sean says, but that was because of WCW. That don't mean they wasn't stars or superstars.
I agree.
Let me say this before I gotta go. Back to what you said, bro. You said that they need an old time rub, and I agree with you. They do need an old time rub, but you got AJ, you got Randy, you got Daniel Bryan, you got Adam Morrison, you got the Miz that can rub those guys. Even Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. We can name so many older guys that was in that era that can rub these younger talents without having to bring Brock back, without having to bring The Rock back, without having to bring John Cena back every time Vince McMahon fails to get the new talent opportunity. So we can sit here and say they need a rub, but you got guys in the WWE can do it. You don't need those older part-time wrestlers in order to do that. You don't need them. You can use them, but you don't need them. So if you continue to use them, people like Ant are gonna continue to want to see them, versus wanting to see somebody like Keith Lee come up and get built up for SummerSlam and take the title off Brock Lesnar, which I think would honestly be a great match. Build him up.
What's the
for him together?
Playing Brock and Lashley.
Man, Brock and Lashley been in the WWE for over 30 years, man. If they ain't had a match by now, go do it on Impact Wrestling or something, because I don't want to see it.
You was okay with The Rock versus Cena, though?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't okay with The Rock versus Cena. I wasn't okay with Brock versus Undertaker.
Listen, I think all this Brock hate comes because Brock ended that little punk.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you about. Let's say this. Right? Let me say this, and I'm gonna get off. Let me say this.
Listen,
nobody.
30, everybody loved Brock. Oh my God, that broke. WrestleMania 30 came. He ended that little punk, little boring streak. Everybody's non-Brock fans now. I was probably the only happy person I couldn't get that streak to end.
Let me say this. Nobody cared about him ending the streak. I mean, I didn't want to see it, but nobody cared about that. The Brock hate didn't come. Let me say this. The Brock hate, for me, comes from him abusing other talents and robbing them of an opportunity to come up. That's where my Brock hate come from. Because honestly, before he started doing that, I was a fan of Brock. But when he started to come in, not even doing qualifying matches, not even have to lift a finger to get in the title picture, and he taking it from younger guys that's putting in the work every other week, that's where my hate comes from. Not because he ended the streak.
But listen though, y'all say Brock only does this and that. What's his image? How does Paul Heyman present him? If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, right? Remember that WrestleMania when he fought Seth Rollins? What did Paul Heyman do? Come out and make that big, we got a plane to catch to make more money, UFC, blah, 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 let's start this match now. That's his image. That's it. That's what he goes by. You can't get mad at what Vince, go out there and do this. You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at Brock for that. That's Vince's fault.
Right, that's what I said.
Baby and Brock. He's putting the bottle in his mouth. Go ahead. He's babying him. Can't get mad at Brock, bro. We all same thing.
Ethan Wick says, real quick, he says, I didn't like The Rock versus Punk.
I think the reason we didn't like that because we already knew the outcome.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, we already knew, they were building for Cena versus Rock. So we knew that Punk they just had to take the belt off Punk. And when that match happened, it was like, yeah, Rock's going
to. Good ending of that match.
I'll be honest with you. I really think that Punk versus The Rock should have been at WrestleMania. It should have never been Cena versus The Rock Part 2. I hated that idea.
And honestly, if that would have happened, Punk probably still be an active WWE competitor right now because that's all he wanted was a WrestleMania pay-per-view.
Yep, I felt like The Rock and Cena should have happened at that Rumble, and the winner went to go face Punk.
Right,
exactly. Right.
Or there could have been a triple threat match at WrestleMania with the three of them. I like that too. But I would have put Punk over both of them though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Jericho won the Undisputed Championship, when we thought we was like, there's no way Jericho's gonna beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night, and he ended up doing it. We was like, oh snap! And Jericho's right about this to this day.
I think that had a lot to do with the right. Was Vince Russo WWE at that time, or was he WCW?
I think it was he probably WCW because that's when he took all WWE ideas and took it over there. And
that sounded like a Vince Russo idea when Jericho won that night. I was surprised.
Yeah, me too. Completely surprised.
Completely surprised. But that's just how I feel. I just feel like all the Brock hate happened after WrestleMania 30. That's how I feel. Because when he was destroying Cena and giving him 14 German suplexes, and
it was beautiful, man.
It was beautiful.
Everybody, Brock, he got until WrestleMania 30, and it was like.
It was beautiful and new at the same time because at that point, we've never seen Cena dominate like that ever in history of in wrestling. We've never seen Cena dominate like that, and Brock literally watched Cena for 30 minutes, he beat him. We were just like, yo, what the hell? Like, it's Super Cena getting tossed around.
Fans just wanted more. That's what made it better.
Yeah. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I'm scratching my head like, yo, is this the actual match? Like, wait a minute, like, it's trying crazy.
Ethan Wick says, anybody beating up the poster boy will make fans happy. Let me just say this. What made Brock Lesnar beating John Cena's behind, just washing him up for that 15 minutes so great. The reason why one of the main core reasons why everybody liked it so much was because not everybody, but about 60 to 50% of the fans were tired of John Cena's lame, boring shtick of coming out, the whole never give up, never surrender, whatever crap he was talking about, never eat egg salad and ride the bus, whatever kind of corny slogan he had, whatever he had. And we were tired of him coming out cutting horrible promos. He wasn't the John Cena that we cheered for in the beginning. And then you have Brock Lesnar, who was coming back, who we were like, all right, he's a great wrestler, he's coming back, but then he just comes back and demolishes him. But what made it so special was that John Cena was a babyface who was booked to be just as unbeatable as Brock Lesnar. So when Brock Lesnar came back and he just demolished him, it was beautiful. It was one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite Brock Lesnar match over Brock Lesnar versus Angle. Those are my top favorite Brock Lesnar matches is Angle and Brock and John Cena. But John Cena versus Brock was probably my favorite because how at that moment Brock Lesnar was our hero. Whether you like it or not, he was our hero. He came back and he partially started to save us from the clutches of John Cena.
We are not gonna bypass the fact that you said Cena said never eat salad.
Whatever. I don't know. I made something up. Whatever. But whatever it was he said, it sucked, and he didn't need to say it. You need to stop saying it.
To do right now.
Eat salad.
Yeah, he got to eat a salad. The best thing for him to do right now is eat a salad. Quit the acting because the acting is not working.
Yeah.
The Hulk Hogan him quick. Turn him heel. Hollywood Cena or something. They need to turn him heel badly because his acting career is not going nowhere.
Yeah.
He needs to come back.
house.
Go away to Fruity Pebbles, t-shirts, colored t-shirts. Just go all dark mode on us. You know, that's the best thing that can happen for him right now. Because bringing him back and putting the title on Cena is like the same thing. Y'all could say the same thing about how y'all say about Brock.
Mm.
You feel me? I say get rid of that dumb haircut he got, that dumb Jay Leno haircut.
Oh man.
And just turn him heel.
No.
Put him as Roman's bodyguard, something like.
Yeah, but they definitely need to do something. I mean, we all know that John Cena, like Roman Reigns, turning heel is money. Like that's something that we would definitely, pay to see. Like we would definitely love to see John Cena do a heel run before he actually retires. Like one more heel run, and we know when Cena does that, it'll be like Hollywood Hogan. It'll be like Hollywood Hogan. We know that, but I think that's what Cena's holding out for. And if John Cena does not do it, if John Cena does not give us a heel run before he retires, he will definitely, in my opinion, be thrown in the same pot as CM Punk's whole retirement. But it won't be in the sense of it'll be a hate towards CM Punk like there is a hate towards John Cena. It would just be, bro, like for instance, CM Punk, you retired because you felt like younger wrestlers wasn't getting their just due. Now that some wrestlers are getting their just due, you need to come back. John Cena, you didn't want to turn heel because you felt like, the kids need a better representation. All right, now that you've given them a good representation for like 10 years or whatever, or however long you've been doing it, now you can come back and give us a heel run for us adults, because whatever kids you were trying to please at the time, they're all adults now. They're all teenagers. They want to see something different.
There's an interview with Cena a couple years ago where he said he was ready to turn heel, but Vince denied it. He said he had t-shirts ready and all that. He said he wanted to turn heel. It was on a podcast or something. I forgot who it was. But you can see, he said he was ready. He had t-shirts, he had merchandise, all. He said he wanted to turn heel. This was like back in like 2014, I believe, or 15. I might be wrong with the year, but I remember the interview him saying that he had t-shirts, merchandise, all that, ready to turn heel. And what about a face Lesnar? That didn't work the first time, but yeah, he was ready to turn. That didn't work back with him and Angle. I didn't like a face Lesnar. He looked soft.
Yeah.
Well, I no. So I believe that John Cena probably wanted to turn heel, but you mentioned it it was like 2014 we talked about but that was like far down the road already, because the reason why John Cena stayed this whole never surrender, never give up kind of character was because of John Cena. Because John Cena, he said it. John Cena actually said, I wanted to change my character, for a positive, outlook or whatever. And then, you go on to stifle he stifled his character, and then you go on to stifle the Nexus. It was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you just killed. It was like every glimmer of hope that could have rebooted his John Cena, he began to kill it. So what made John Cena more exciting was just John Cena losing. Like when Kevin Owens beat John Cena and Kevin Owens did that little feud with John Cena, I wasn't a Kevin Owens fan. Didn't know who he was because I wasn't watching NXT. But when Kevin Owens showed up, I was like, yo, who is this guy? Kevin made me a believer. I was a fan ever since then. I was like, I love this guy.
I know me and Jay, my man Mac, I know we was the two happiest people on the planet that day when KO popped up. And
oh yeah.
So guys, I've been listening to y'all. I couldn't say nothing. But back to the John Cena thing, that's one thing I can't agree with Ann on. He did ask Vince McMahon to turn heel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. What you say?
I think it's too late for him to turn heel now. Like if he comes back now, he turns heel. It's like
whatever.
Okay, what's the you gonna turn heel and win the championship 60 more times? All right, do. Like it should have happened like when CM Punk was there. Like when CM Punk won the belt and left, act like he left the company and was going to all them indie promotions. He should have turned heel. He should have went on like champion, this and that. This is blah blah blah. He should have went on a rampage like how Brock tore the ring up that one night after he lost to Seth, I believe, at WrestleMania. He should have went on some like crybaby rant when CM Punk left with the title, like, "Oh, I should be champion. I shouldn't have to face Rey Mysterio. It all should be handed to me." Like how Eric Bischoff handed it to Triple H, the World Heavyweight title, Triple H that one on that Raw that one night. But he should have went on like that. Should have his heel run could have started right there. It could have built something up. Like crybaby Cena or something like that. Like, or why do I?
But the reason why they wouldn't do that is because they had already made up in their mind that Cena was going to be the face. And as me and Jay was talking the other day, you got to think about it. At the same time that happened, the same time they went kind of rated R, they stopped doing all the blood in the matches. He got rid of the FU to the attitude adjustment. So it was a trigger down effect of things that happened. When Cena wanted to go heel, they started turning him and molding him to a different person. And like me and Jay was saying is, he couldn't come out there and rap without the jersey and the chain. He had to have that on to be realistic and to be for people to believe the whole thing. So in all honesty, I don't think John Cena wanted to be that guy in the beginning. I think the opportunity was just handed to him in his lap, and and from my understanding, he went to Vince McMahon 2 or 3 times and said, let me go heel. And Vince was like, no. So, at the same time, I say this all the time in the group, bro. Vince McMahon got too many yes men and not enough people to tell him, no, let's try something new. And when he gets somebody in there, like Paul Heyman that was doing it, and we seen Apollo Crews come up, we were seeing Alexander come up, we were seeing all these guys come up. When you get somebody in there that can do that and change his perspective and change his persona, I think that's when WWE gonna take off, and then we gonna start to look at AEW like a stepchild. But right now we looking at them like a brother, because right now their storylines and their show is just as good as both Raw and SmackDown, almost, if not better.
Okay, let me say something real quick. I found this funny. I haven't thought about this, but I actually thought about it just now when Trav just said the attitude adjustment. You know what I found funny, right? John Cena is partly responsible for killing the whole kind of like era, the whole attitude era, story arcs and formula with WWE. Don't you guys find it funny that his finisher was called the attitude adjustment?
I never thought of that.
I didn't think about it to Trav mention. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, he was responsible for killing the whole attitude era. And then his finisher was called the attitude adjustment. This is the reason why we don't need Cena at all. The reason why we don't need him. I'm just saying, I don't know, it might be conspiracy. I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting that his finish, I never really thought about it. I was like, yo, this guy, like his finisher was called the attitude adjustment. And then when he came, the attitude era just kind of like went out the window. Like the ruthless aggression era, the attitude, because the ruthless aggression era was pretty much like the attitude era. It's just a little bit more aggressive, but in some I don't know. But guys, we gotta wrap up. Ethan Wick, Illuminati confirmed. But guys, we gotta wrap up. We gotta go. I gotta get some sleep. Jay gotta go and do some PR work for Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Guys, we thank you, and we thank you for joining us. Trav, we thank you for joining us. We thank you. We had a wonderful show. Definitely appreciate it. Next show, we are going to have Sean Keys on. I don't know if it's going to be Sean Keys and Trav. I don't know if it's going to be Trav. I don't know if it's going to be Ant and Sean Keys, but Sean Keys is going to come on with us next time. Everybody who's joining us, please share the live so that your wrestling fans can watch it, so they can come in, chime in, join in the conversation. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please drop a comment section below. Please subscribe, comment, post up on the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page, drop some articles, stir up some conversation, man. We just want to talk wrestling. We definitely appreciate you guys for your feedback. We also appreciate you guys for coming on. It is a blast. We enjoy doing this with you guys. Until next time, I am Saheem the Dream.
J Mac me.
Pump, man. think
And
Trav.
Trav.
Yo.
And Travis saying peace out. And we thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Peace.